Morning guys, right, I've got this Renault Master horsebox in here and I've got to get ready for its MOT. One of the faults is it's got an ABS fault, so I've had it up the road and sometimes it comes on and sometimes it goes off and then it comes back on again. So I've checked the back end, that all looks good, so I'm now going to strip the front off and see if I can find a damaged sensor, an ABS sensor, an exciter ring, or a damaged sensor, or some damaged wiring or rotten wiring. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so this is the vehicle, so you can see the ABS light down in the corner there. When I start that up, that light should go out, and it's not. So that's indicating we've got an ABS fault, so we need to get that fixed. Right, well, just pick any side. So I'm just going to pick this passenger side now and get the wheel off. That wheel. And as always, put a stand in. There we go. Keep it safe in case anything goes wrong. So I'm gonna get a look at the wiring and just see if I can see anything wrong. And if I do, I'll take a video. So I've checked that plug, I can't see anything wrong with that, but there's the sensor, and you can probably just make out the exciter ring, if you can, on the drive shaft. In there's the ring. So I'm going to put on a hard lock. I'm just going to spin the hub and just make sure that's not massively corroded or even a cracked ring. Also, I'm going to check the wheel bearing as well. Yeah, so there's the plug. I've had that apart, that looks good. Wiring's not chafed. Comes down to the sensor looks good, but that ABS ring is very, very corroded. And I've turned it all the way around. It's not broken. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build this side back up and then check the other side. But before I do, I'm going to get the wire brush on my drill and I'm going to clean that ABS ring up. Okay, so I've got my drill, the wire brush on, so I'm just going to go around and clean up those segments. Right, that's them all cleaned up. The ring's not loose, it's not cracked, sensor's good, so I'm going to do the same on the other side. Right, so I've built the other side up, I've taken the driver's side apart, and if you get a look in there, that ABS ring there is absolutely corroded to hell, way worse than the other side. So I'm going to take this caliper off like I did on the other side, try and clean that up, and I'll take it up the road once I've done that. If not, probably have to put a pot joint on there because that sensor is part of the CV joint. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely buggered that, innit? So I'm just going to turn the shaft, make sure that it's not cracked. Oh yeah, there you go. There's actually no teeth. That bit there, if you look right where my finger is there, it's literally missing a whole load of teeth there. So I'm going to clean it up with my drill so we can see what it looks like, and I think I'm going to end up putting a pot joint on there. Right, here we go. Right, I'll work my way around there. Yeah, look at that. There's nothing left of those segments there. Look at that bit there. So that'll be what's causing the ABS fault. So I'm going to put a pot joint, a CV joint on here, renew this joint, and that should fix it. Right then, let's get it stripped off. The customer's given us permission to crack on. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Drive shaft nut off. Yeah, that's absolutely destroyed that ring, isn't it? Okay, so I've got this driver's side front hub removed, and you can see the state of that ABS exciter ring. Absolutely knackered. So I'm going to take the clips off and see if I can knock that pot joint off there now. Right then, taking the boot off there, so hopefully that should just tap off without coming out the gearbox. Yeah, there we go. And there is the CV joint removed, and the gearbox end is left in so we don't lose any oil. Happy days. And there we go. So I'll leave that there until the new parts come, and there you can see that's the old CV joint off. So waiting for the new one coming there now. Right, and so now that's all stripped off and it's going for MOT. You see that rack boot there? It's all split and perished. The other side's actually worse. So I'm going to get that new rack boot changed, and there's a new track orienting on this side, and there's a new track orienting on the other side because they're showing a little bit of play in them. So yeah, we'll get them whipped off now. Okay, so that's the track rod end off, steering rack gaiter removed, and we've got a whole load of parts here, so there's all the bits. So first of all, we'll get the gaiter on, then we'll get the track rod end on, and then we'll go for that CV joint. Right, that's the new steering rack gaiter on. So we'll put a bit of lube on the threads and get the track rod end on now. Right, that's the track rod end fitted. I'm not going to nip the pinch bolt up though because I'll have to set the front wheel alignment when it's all finished. Okay, so that's the new CV joint. I've got some new grease here, so I'm going to get that grease worked into all the balls. I've already put the boot on the shaft, so yeah, we'll get this worked in there now. Okay, that's the sachet of grease pumped into all of those ball bearings, so that is fully packed with grease, so we can tap that on now. Okay, so that's the new CV joint fitted, so we'll get all this built back up there now. So I was just about to get the arms put down so I can get the hub in, and I just thought I would give these a bit of a check, and the top ball joint is perfect, but this bottom one I've popped the boot off because that felt quite slack, and you can probably see you see that? That there, that bottom ball joint's totally worn out. It's got to go for MOT, so I'm just going to blast that out and I'll put a new ball joint in that side, and probably if the other side needs one I'll put one in the other side as well. So yeah, good job I noticed that. Hey, you can probably see the lift on it there. Loads. Knacker job. Right, I've hit it a few times with a hammer there, and I've knocked the ball joint out, the socket, sorry, the ball. So I'm just going to try and beat the socket out there now. Going. There we go. And there's the remains of the ball joint out there, so there you can see it there. That's the socket, and that would be the ball. So yeah, just waiting for a new one coming there now. And that's the arm all cleaned up there with a bit of emery tape. So we'll put a little bit of oil around here, and then we'll get the new one pressed in. Right, that's the new ball joint arrived. But what you need to do, because there's often a choice of ball joints, I've had it before, you don't want to get it built up and find it's wrong. Just get the ball joint and make sure it's the right diameter for the housing, and that one is. That's perfect. That, I think you get like a 22, 24, maybe it's a 19, but that's the right one. So happy days. Okay, so that's the new ball joint tapped in from underneath. I left the boot off because I don't want to damage that when it went in. So yep, I'll get the new boot put back on, and then we can put the hub back on. I meant to say, before I put the boot back on, I've just got a new circlip to, oh, I've got the wrong circuit pliers. It should be ones that open it up. These ones close. I'll go and get the correct pliers. Right, here we go. Put that over the top. Right over the top. And then I'll just tap that into place. So that's the circlip installed. So that stops that ball joint from dropping out. Right, so that's the boot back on and its clip. Right, and guys, that's the hub put back onto the ball joints. Drive shafts through. So I'm just going to put the new drive shaft nut on there. Gun that up. Go. I'll just check that with a bar once it's all put back together, but that's the nut on and that's the drive shaft installed. So we'll get the ball joint nuts on now. Right, that's the lower pinch bolt which goes through the bottom ball joint, so I'm going to get that through there now. We've just got to make sure it lines up with a slot in the ball joint. Okay, so that's the top ball joint nut in there, nipped up. That's the bottom pinch bolt all nipped up. So I'll get the track rod end on now. Right. Right, so that's the track rod end on. I'll check that with a bar there now. Earlier on I said I was going to leave that pinch bolt on the track rod end. Well, I'm not. I'm just gonna nip that up now. I will set the wheel alignment, but I don't like leaving things slack. It plays on my mind, that, so no, I'm just going to nip that up, and then I know that is tight. Jobs are good, guys. Right, I'm going to get the top shock absorber bolt in there now. You have to drop that out when in order to drop the bottom arm off. So yeah, you've got no chance of getting that bottom shock absorber off the pin. If you try getting that off, you're going to knack the shock absorber. So yep, I dropped it off by the top there. Okay, that's the shocker on. So the last job now on this side is just to put the two caliper carrier bolts in, and then we'll get the brake pipe clip, the flexi clipped up. Okay, so that's the caliper back on. Flexi's all clipped back up where it should be. ABS sensors put back in where it should be. Track rod ends tight, pinch bolts tight. Drive shaft in, nuts tight. Bottom ball joint, pinch bolt tight. Top ball joint nut tight. And the end cap tight. And it all spins lovely there. So I'm just going to turn the steering. There we go. Have a look at that drive shaft, make sure everything's okay. Yeah. Lovely jubbly. So that is a lot better. Look at those teeth, we've got teeth on there now. So yeah, that's that job done. Get the wheel back on. Right, let's get the wheel back on. Lovely. So as usual, I'll let that down and I'll check those wheel nuts with a bar. Okay, so that's all the wheel nuts checked with a bar. And there's all the parts that have been changed. Drive shaft, sorry, CV joint, steering rack boot, bottom ball joint and a track rod end. And there's the old nut. So yeah, getting them thrown in the skip now. Right then guys, it's starting to rain there now, so I'm going to get the gear put away, but I've got to go to another job there now. So yep, good job done that. There's nothing left of those teeth on that ABS ring, so get the other one put on tomorrow and job will be a good one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again with another Ken's Jobs.